Does it feel like pins and needles are permanently threaded through your feet at night? Do your hands sometimes go numb, as if they've simply decided to disconnect? Or perhaps you feel a burning, stabbing pain that seems to have no source and no explanation. If this sounds familiar, stay with me, because what you're feeling isn't just getting older. It's a warning, a signal that something is actively attacking your nervous system. And if you ignore it, the damage can cross a line from which there is no return. This isn't a talk about pain management. This is a conversation about nerve preservation. My name is Dr. Robert Harrison. For decades, I've specialized in treating seniors with neuropathy, the burning feet, the mysterious numbness, the loss of balance that so many are told is just an inevitable part of aging. Does it feel like pins and needles are permanently threaded through your feet at night? Do your hands sometimes go numb, as if they've simply decided to disconnect? Or perhaps you feel a burning, stabbing pain that seems to have no source and no explanation. If this sounds familiar, stay with me, because what you're feeling isn't just getting older. It's a warning, a signal that something is actively attacking your nervous system. And if you ignore it, the damage can cross a line from which there is no return. This isn't a talk about pain management. This is a conversation about nerve preservation. My name is Dr. Robert Harrison. For decades, I've specialized in treating seniors with neuropathy, the burning feet, the mysterious numbness, the loss of balance that so many are told is just an inevitable part of aging. Let me be direct. In many cases, it is not. So I want to make you a promise right now. In the next few minutes, you will understand the single greatest poison eroding senior nerves today. A poison so common, most people are exposed to it daily without a second thought. You'll learn what puts you at risk and, critically, what you can do to stop it. Not eventually, but now. First, I need you to ask yourself a question, and this is your first act of defense. Have you experienced tingling, numbness, or a burning sensation in your hands or feet? And did you know that blood sugar could be systematically damaging your nerves, even if you've never been diagnosed with diabetes? If so, I want you to write yes in the comments below, because awareness is your primary shield. Nerves do not give second chances once they're gone. Let me tell you about Frank. At 68, retired and active, he was plagued by fiery feet at night and numb toes by day, interrupted by sudden, electric jolts of pain. He was told it was probably his age or just circulation. But when we looked deeper, we found a silent, daily exposure, something he believed was harmless, slowly poisoning his nerve fibers. When we removed it, the progression of damage halted. It didn't reverse overnight, but it stopped. And that changed everything for him. Here is the open loop I want you to hold. What was that poison? And how many people are unknowingly feeding it to themselves every single day? The answer lies in understanding nerves. They are not inert wires. They are fragile, living tissue that heals at a glacial pace. Damage accumulates in silence, long before the first symptom appears. Now, here is the uncomfortable truth. The most devastating poison for senior nerves isn't a rare toxin or an industrial chemical. It's chronic blood sugar toxicity. And this is the critical distinction. You do not need diabetes for this to happen. You only need repeated spikes, the kind millions of seniors experience daily without ever knowing. When blood sugar surges, sugar molecules bind to nerve fibers and the microscopic vessels that nourish them. This creates inflammation, oxidative stress, and corrodes the protective insulation around nerves. Signals begin to fray. Tingling turns to numbness, then to burning pain, then to loss of balance and falls. One of the most dangerous myths is that neuropathy suddenly appears. It doesn't. It develops in the shadows for years while the poison does its work. Have you ever been told your blood sugar is a little high, whether you're borderline or pre-diabetic? That is often the precise ground zero for nerve damage. Studies now confirm that prediabetes causes neuropathy almost as frequently as full-blown diabetes. The difference is that most people in this stage are completely unaware. And here's where people often say, "But I eat healthy. So did most of my patients." The poison is insidious, hiding in places that sound benign. Let me trace its path. You consume something that spikes your blood sugar. Insulin floods in. Over time, cells become resistant, leaving sugar to linger in your bloodstream. The long, delicate nerves in your feet and hands are bathed in this toxic sugar again and again. Their nutrient supply lines, the tiny blood vessels, become damaged. The nerves begin to starve. And because this happens incrementally, the connection is never made. People often say, it came out of nowhere, but it has been building quietly for years. So where does this poison hide in daily life? Liquid sugar, fruit juices, sweetened coffee drinks, healthy smoothies. Without fiber to slow it, liquid sugar creates a violent spike, directly assaulting nerve tissue. Naked carbohydrates, bread, cereal, crackers, pasta, especially when eaten alone. They break down into sugar rapidly, creating a surge. Constant snacking. The grazing habit keeps insulin perpetually elevated, denying nerves any recovery window. They need stability, not constant inflammation. There's another layer many miss: medications. Certain common drugs, like some acid blockers or diabetes medications, can deplete nutrients vital for nerve survival, especially vitamin B12, which is essential for maintaining the protective myelin sheath around nerves. Let me tell you about Susan. Her numb feet were blamed on age. Testing revealed a severe B12 deficiency caused by a medication she'd taken for years. Correcting it didn't reverse the damage, but it stopped the progression. That was the turning point. Neuropathy is rarely one thing. It's a cascade. Blood sugar toxicity acts as the accelerant, pouring gasoline on the fires of inflammation and nutrient depletion. This brings us to the most vital point. Neuropathy is not always reversible, but its progression is often preventable. And preserving function is everything. It is the difference between independence and reliance, between confidence and the fear of falling. Which leads to the pivotal question: if chronic blood sugar toxicity is the poison, what is the antidote? The strategy is not complexity. It is consistency. Nerves don't need perfection. They need peace. The first rule: never eat carbohydrates alone. Pair them with protein or healthy fat. This simple act dramatically slows sugar absorption, turning a potentially harmful meal into a safe one. The second rule: eliminate liquid sugar entirely. If you want fruit, eat it whole, in moderation, and only after a meal, never on an empty stomach. The third rule: protect with nutrients. Prioritize B12, magnesium, folate, and alpha-lipoic acid. But be cautious. More is not better. Testing and professional guidance are key, as incorrect supplementation can sometimes worsen the problem. The fourth rule: calm inflammation. Incorporate anti-inflammatory foods like fatty fish, olive oil, and turmeric. Reduce processed foods and refined oils. The fifth rule: gentle, strategic movement. A 10-minute walk after a meal helps lower blood sugar spikes and improve circulation to nerve tissue. This isn't about intensity, it's about nourishment. I saw this with James, 74, whose legs failed him by afternoon. His healthy morning smoothie was flooding his nerves with sugar. We replaced it with eggs and vegetables, moved a small portion of fruit to after lunch, and within weeks, his pain eased and his balance solidified. We didn't perform magic. We simply stopped the poison. For the next 2 to 4 weeks, I urge you to remove liquid sugar. Pair every carbohydrate. Walk after meals. Get your B12 levels checked. Observe the changes. You may find the burning softens, sleep deepens, and the ground feels steadier beneath you. Let me be unequivocal. Anyone promising a miracle cure is lying. But anyone telling you nothing can be done is equally wrong. There is a profound middle ground, the ground of actionable preservation. Stopping the poison is the first, most powerful step. It is how you protect the nerves you have left, safeguard your balance, and reclaim your independence. The tingling is not a verdict. It is an alert, and it is not too late to answer its call.